Chapter 4. You died. Slowly opening the door, you peeked out of the small opening and discovered that there were at least 20 zombies outside aimlessly patrolling the 5th floor's hallway. Fortunately, the opening of the door didn't cause any loud noise, so you didn't attract the attention of those zombies. Knowing that your current strength is insufficient, you realize that even if you don't risk it to venture outside and fight against those zombies, your current rations aren't enough to sustain you until the cure of the zombie apocalypse is developed. And besides, with the knowledge that all of this was just a simulation, you decided to risk it. With a kitchen knife in hand, you slowly opened the door and stepped out of your dormitory room. Before the zombie could react, you used your sword skills to perform a badass slash at the zombie's nape, thus immobilizing that zombie, but it still wasn't dead yet. When that zombie fell on the ground, it caused a crashing sound which attracted the attention of the 26 zombies in the 5th floor's hallway. Yes, you have managed to count all of the zombies in the hallway. Including the one that you have immobilized, there are 27 zombies in the hallway. Growl. The zombies let out a loud growl and swarmed you in all directions. The zombies flooded your escape route, and due to their slightly fast speed, you don't have enough time to return to your dormitory, not that you planned to. Rather than starving to death in your dormitory, you decided to die a nobler death by tightly gripping your kitchen knife and madly slashing at the zombies in front of you. Your surroundings were dyed with the red blood of the zombies, but soon, they managed to swarm you and bite your flesh. After being bitten, the zombies left you to your own accord. But that didn't give you satisfaction, since from your observation, your body's veins bulged and your skin slowly became pale. You felt a surge of excruciating pain coursing through your entire body, as if every fiber of your muscles and flesh were being torn and shredded apart. Out of pure willpower, you survived. But your consciousness was barely present and your vision seemed to suffer from almost blindness. You couldn't control your body and it seemed to move out of instinct. You felt as if you were suffering from sleep paralysis, but in this case, it was sleep paralysis plus sleepwalking with a hint of blindness. You weren't completely blind, but what you could see was only limited to blurry figures, barely able to guess what was in front of you. That wasn't what scared you. It was your urge to eat human flesh, as if you had bottomless hunger that had yet to be satiated. For once, you wished that you hadn't retained consciousness, but after remembering that this was only a simulation, you persevered. Good guy, as expected of myself, just keep on living. The more you live and the more you experience, the more my chances of earning higher rewards increase. Alister commented as he felt moved by his simulated self's willpower and perseverance. 2 days have passed. When you were about to give up, your instincts flared up and your acute sense of hearing heard that one of the doors in the dormitories of the 5th floor's hallway had opened. Not only you but the rest of your zombie friends also heard it. The door in dormitory 172 opened and 4 male teenagers wielding kitchen knives and metal cooking pans bravely set foot on the zombie-infested hallway. Their loud exit attracted the attention of all the zombies in the hallway, including yourself. As if on cue, all of the zombies including you swarmed the 4 teenagers. You craved for their flesh and couldn't wait to bite them. But when you arrived in front of those 4 teenagers, one of them discharged their knife with electricity, slashed their knife, and beheaded you. You died. Ding, the simulation has ended. Simulation score is D. Visht novelban.com for new updates, loading rewards. Choose one from these rewards. 1. Comprehensive strength obtained during the simulation. 2. Zombie bloodline. F tier zombie. 3. Athlete. White. 4. Runner. White. 5. Sword noob. White. Seeing that the simulation had ended, Alister didn't expect that he would die this early. Sigh, am I that weak? It seems that I need to become stronger, or else let alone the simulation world. Even I can't survive in this world. Also, were there any superpowers in the zombie world? If I am not mistaken, the teenager who killed me had discharged electricity in his kitchen knife. After all, even with the strength of an athlete, I couldn't behead a zombie since their spine was too thick. Alister reflected on the simulation and realized that the zombie world wasn't as simple as it had seemed to be. At least, the possibility of evolved humans and evolved zombies were likely. The stronger the world, the better. At least, I can obtain higher strength in that simulation world so I can survive in the real world. That being said, what rewards should I choose? I will definitely not choose that zombie bloodline since I don't want to eat human flesh. Alister commented as he checked up on the 5 rewards displayed on the system screen. Seeing reward number 1, Alister asked the system about it. System, what does comprehensive strength mean? Is it my overall strength in the simulation? Yes, host. Whether it is your endurance, speed, power, or any strength you have in the simulation. Specifically, it is the strength you have when you are in the state of a zombie but without side effects such as craving for human flesh, blindness, and loss of sentience. But it is the strength without the effects of your talents. Receiving that answer from his system, Alister no longer hesitated. Then I choose reward number 1. It is better than the zombie bloodline and I don't need white grade talents. After Alister chose reward number 1, he felt a surge of power course through his entire body, nourishing every bone, flesh, and muscle in his body. Is this the power of an F-tier zombie? It is at least at the level of a first-level transcendent. Chapter 5. Purple and blue grade talents. Although the power of a first-level transcendent can barely defeat monsters, it is better than nothing. At least, I can easily defeat my previous self and this power can at least make my future simulations a lot easier. Alister marveled at his newfound power and he couldn't help but punch the air multiple times to test his power. Ding! The rewards have been chosen. And since it's a D-grade simulation score, the simulator will be in a 1-hour cooldown. Sure enough, there will be a cooldown after the usage of the simulation. Otherwise, it would be cheating if I could infinitely use the simulator. Alister commented as he decided to spend the hour playing computer games. He played FPS this time and since his reaction time and reflexes were also improved and at the level of a first-level transcendent, he made countless FPS players cry with bloody tears. Soon enough, an hour passed and the simulation button of the World Travel Simulator system which was previously grayed out became brighter. Without any hesitation, Alister pressed the simulation button on the system screen. Ding! The host can choose 3 of these talents. Clown, white, necrophiliac, green, gay, white, zombie virus immunity, purple, swordsman, blue, clown, white, you worked as a clown before. Your presence gives slightly good vibes to those around you. Necrophiliac, green, you are sexually attracted to dead bodies and zombies. Zombies of the opposite sex have a good impression of you and will unlikely bite and kill you. Gay, white, you are gay. Zombie virus immunity, purple, you are immune to the zombie virus. This doesn't mean that the zombie virus won't stay in your body, but you won't turn into a zombie even if a zombie bit you and injected the zombie virus into your body. It grants a high probability of utilizing the zombie virus in your body to cause your body to mutate in a good path. Swordsman, blue, you may not be a master swordsman, but you have practiced for over a decade in the sword path and are close to becoming a master swordsman. Visit Novelban, c.om for updates. Unlike before, Alister hesitated in choosing his 3 talents for the second simulation. I finally draw the purple and blue grade talents. Their effect is good so the zombie virus immunity and swordsman talents are chosen. No way I am choosing the gay talent so that leaves me with the clown and necrophiliac talents. After several seconds worth of contemplation, Alister gritted his teeth and chose the necrophiliac, green, talent. Vampire girls and zombie girls don't have much difference anyway. Both are dead but the former drinks blood while the latter eats flesh. As a cultured young man, it's not like I haven't dreamed of having a cute and cold zombie girl as my wife. After convincing himself, Alister chose zombie virus immunity, purple, swordsman, blue, and necrophiliac, green, talents. Ding! The host has chosen the following talents. Zombie virus immunity, purple, swordsman, blue, necrophiliac, green, ding. Starting the simulation in zombie world, ding. You woke up due to a loud noise of crashing and screaming outside your school dormitory. You found out from a mirror inside your room that your appearance is still the same but undoubtedly, you have traveled to another world. There was also an unsheathed steel sword beside your bedroom. And from the memories of your body, you know it's all due to practicing the sword since you were 8 years old. Having knowledge of this world from your first simulation, you know that this is a zombie world. So the loud noise could only mean that the zombie apocalypse has started. Unlike before, you only had the physical strength of an athlete and a kitchen knife, but now, you have the physical strength of an average zombie and a steel sword along with the proficient skills in swordsmanship that you possessed. You are now more confident in your survival. After your successful transmigration into this world, you have already received the memories and knowledge of this body. Similar to your first simulation, you found out that you are currently in dormitory number 169 and it's currently located on the 5th floor. All 3 of your roommates had invited you to stay in a brothel yesterday, but they had remembered that you didn't have any interest in living humans, so they didn't bother to persuade you anymore, leaving you all alone in dormitory 169. You didn't mind since this only gave you the advantage of having this room all to yourself. You started to scavenge the entire room for food and you obtained 2 bottles of mineral water, a pack of potato chips, and 2 packs of biscuits. Putting all of those in your backpack as well as the kitchen knife for emergencies, you picked up the unsheathed steel sword and placed it on your waist. You know that there are 27 zombies in the hallway. Not only that, but 4 male teenagers in dormitory 172 were still humans, and even one of them had awakened their superpower. With the zombie virus immunity, I can let the zombies bite me and let my body be infected with the zombie virus. After all, there is a high possibility of mutation and obtaining a superpower. You muttered to yourself and decided to leave the dormitory. Opening the door without any care whether it caused a loud sound or not, your exit had undoubtedly attracted the attention of all the 27 zombies in the 5th floor's hallway. Like moths drawn to a light source, all the zombies swarmed towards you and you unceremoniously forwarded your arm to let the zombies bite it. A searing pain of the zombie's teeth plunging into your flesh was experienced when a zombie bit your arm. You endured such pain and as expected, when that zombie bit you and infected you with the zombie virus, the rest of the zombies no longer took any interest in you. You felt that your body was evolving as foreign power coursed through your entire body. With a slight explosion sound, the surrounding air was scattered away from your location. With a flick of your hand, you noticed that the wind around you was manipulated by you. You have successfully awakened your superpower and its air manipulation. 6 Air Manipulation Superpower. You didn't become a zombie but a human who has evolved using the zombie virus. You know that this result will cause the zombies to be hostile to you again. After all, even the Awakener who has lightning superpower was swarmed by zombies in the first simulation, which proved that zombies will still attack humans even if they awakened superpowers and have the zombie virus in their bodies. Surprisingly, that wasn't the case with you. The zombies in the hallway treated you as if you were one of their own and never attacked you since the time that one of them had bit you before. Is this a hidden effect of the zombie virus immunity? After all, it is a purple grade talent. It might also be the superimposed effect of both the zombie virus immunity and necrophiliac talent. You muttered to yourself after such discovery. Nevertheless, you didn't mind since this can be a huge advantage for you. Of course, there was also the possibility that only low-level zombies wouldn't attack you and stronger ones would still attack you. But you haven't tested that yet, so you still didn't know if that was possible or not. Even if that still happened, you have your trusty sword on your waist so you can still kill them with not only your blue-grade swordsmanship but also your air manipulation superpower. You hesitated whether to recruit the lightning superpower Awakener in dormitory 172, but after a minute's worth of contemplation, your cautious personality decided not to risk it. After all, you trust no one but yourself, and in this apocalyptic world, the most dangerous ones weren't the zombies but the humans who are no longer shackled by the restraints of the laws and morality. You also remembered the purpose of obtaining the necrophiliac talent, which is to raise and cultivate powerful zombie girls. Not only can you get powerful loyal combatants, but also a girlfriend for yourself. With such a plan in mind, you decided to leave the dormitory. As for the zombies in the 5th floor's hallway, you didn't bother to waste your energy in eliminating them. Whether those guys in dormitory 172 could survive or not was none of your business. I have to say, this simulation has really simulated my personality and mindset. Even if I were to replace the self in that simulation, I would still not choose to risk teaming up with those schoolmates of mine. Fortunately, the evolution was a success and I have obtained the air manipulation superpower. As long as I develop it well, I should be able to reach SSS grade in air manipulation and be at the level of Hugh Carlson. At least, my advantage is that I can simulate myself and improve in the simulation, so my growth speed is tremendously fast. I have already reached first level transcendent and I will soon be able to surpass Hugh Carlson. Updated from No. V.E.L.B.I.N.C.O. per meter. Alister was excited to see that his simulated self was becoming stronger, since it meant that his choices of rewards would also become better. Air manipulation was quite powerful as a superpower, so Alister was satisfied that he awakened it instead of fire manipulation and water manipulation, which was too dependent on the terrain to make it more powerful. After all, fire and water aren't everywhere, but air is everywhere on the planet. Not only could he generate air, but he could also take advantage of the air around him to manipulate it and use it against his enemies. Even if this simulation fails and only allows me to get a C grade as my simulation score, I should get the air manipulation superpower and purple grade zombie virus immunity talent. Of course, if it's only D grade, then the purple grade zombie virus immunity talent is undoubtedly a better choice, since I can reawaken the air manipulation superpower again in the next simulation. With that plan in mind, Alister continued the simulation. You have successfully left the 5th floor hallway and descended to the 2nd floor. But when you were walking on the 2nd floor's staircase, you noticed that there were a bunch of guys being swarmed by zombies in the 2nd floor hallway. You know that if you took the white grade gay talent, you would have saved them. But you are only a necrophiliac and still a straight person, so you didn't take any interest in those guys and left them to fend for themselves. Help us, bro. You heard their plea for help, but since you didn't want anything to do with them, you ignored it and descended to the 1st floor. You didn't want a bunch of weaklings to burden you in this world filled with danger, so you decided to walk the path of being a loner. Or at least a loner until you find a suitable zombie girl to accompany you. You still haven't given up on getting a cute zombie girl waifu, and you know that in this boys' dormitory, it was impossible to find a zombie girl unless one of the boys here had hired a prostitute. With that in mind, you left the 1st floor hallway by the dormitory's exit. You are greeted with the sight of countless zombies rummaging through the streets, in search of human flesh. And as usual, those zombies ignored you as if you were one of them. Breathing the air filled with the scent of blood and smoke, you noticed that there were cars on fire and screams of help resounded in the campus. Having obtained your air manipulation superpower, you haven't trained its usage much, so you decided to use the zombies as your training dummies. With a wave of your hand, a sharp air wave passed through the zombies' necks, beheading them. Their heads rolled on the ground, and it verified your conjecture that zombies would die if their heads were separated from their bodies. Creating an air spear, you perforate it into the heart of one of the zombies, and when you retract the air spear, you notice that the zombie hasn't died yet. Although its mobility was slower than before, it was still alive. After getting used to your air manipulation superpower and discovering the elimination method for those zombies, you decided to head to the girls' dormitory on the campus to fetch your zombie girl.